You're welcome to this channel. I want to be sharing with you today on a talk that I call suicide is not an option. I'm sharing this video with a very heavy heart. I'm becoming worried about the level of suicide that we are continuing to have among young people in Nigeria. The rates the rate of suicide is becoming disturbing. I see young people committing suicide for all manner of reasons. It's becoming worrisome. And as a youth advocate, I've been seriously concerned, and this has been on my mind for some time now. And like 2 days ago, I read of another suicide in a university in southwest Nigeria. And we don't know how this coach is going to end. We should all be concerned because we don't know who is next. Okay, if somebody is sick, you can see the signs of sickness on that person. You can say somebody has been healed for some time, the person he has cancer or has a terminal disease, but depression doesn't show on the face. And you see, when somebody is depressed and is likely to commit suicide, the only person that can help the person is actually the person that is depressed. Because people will not be with you 100% of the time. And a lot of time, people are going through terrible experiences that they are not sharing. And the fact that they are not sharing the problem could even be the problem. Sometimes, people say a problem shared is half solved. Even though it's not 100% true, but most of the time it is true. Because what we call problem sometimes is a perception or perspective challenge. You may be looking at an issue from a wrong perspective. And when you share what you think or what you're going through, somebody that has a more balanced view might be able to point out your error to you. So what you think is a problem might actually not be a problem. Or what you think is insurmountable, somebody may have the solution right beside you. So I'm speaking from my heart today to young people, especially young Nigerians outside there, that may be thinking of committing suicide for whatever reason they think make it justifiable for them to kill themselves. So I want to say to you today that suicide is completely not an option for you to consider. And I'll be looking at several reasons that makes it unacceptable for you to consider suicide as an option. Number one, every problem is temporary. I tell you, what is looking permanent today in your life is not permanent. Every problem has an expiry date, and that is the truth. Talk to your dad, talk to your mom, talk to your uncle, talk to your aunties. Everyone you see around is a product of trials. It's a product of challenges. So we go through challenges in life that we may think may be the end of us. But we can look back and say, wow, what I thought was permanent is not even permanent. And I've overcome it. Even if a problem is going to be with you for your entire life, it is still temporary because we as human beings, we are temporary beings. The day we were born, our time clock has started to tick. So our life here is temporary. The challenge you're facing is temporary, and that is why you should never consider killing yourself. Number two, there are more problems ahead. That is the way this life is. Life is full of challenges. You see people laughing, you see people, forming happiness. You see people on Instagram, on Facebook, posting, and you begin to wonder, where am I? How come everybody is happy and I'm not happy? Then suddenly you hear the person that you think is the happiest person on earth yes, is facing serious challenges. But they will not come online to come and share those challenges. But they will be making things up online as if everything is okay with them. That's life. There are challenges in life. You become one, you are going to meet another. There was an analogy that somebody shared with us some years ago. He said if you are on top of a small mountain and it is time for you to go to a higher realm of heights, do you know that you cannot jump from the top of the mountain you have to another peak? You have to descend first. You have to descend from the mountain you have. Life will bring you down so that you can reascend another mountain and you find yourself on a higher level of life. So if you want to grow in life, you want to be a leader of people, you want to be somebody that people listen to, people that your word will become, will carry weights before people. Yeah, you need to be tested. You need to be proven. And you need to overcome every challenge that life will bring to your path. Number three, problems create leaders that people will naturally listen to. See, everybody can be a motivational speaker. Anybody can read books and come online and start talking. But when you listen to the words of people that I have been tried, that have been tested, that can give you case studies, that can give you experience and say, 10 years ago, I was here. 15 years ago, this was what happened to me. 20 years ago, this was my experience. This was how I solved the problem. People will listen. Naturally, people follow tested leaders. So maybe what you're going to today is actually preparing you for a throne, for a position of leadership. Even if it is not positional leadership, it can be preparing you for dispositional leadership. You see, in many organizations, business organizations, religious organizations, social organizations, there are some people that they don't hold position, but they don't take decisions without referring to them. Why? They are dispositional leaders. You have an official leader, but they are there. Nothing gets done without them because of the leadership influence they have. Maybe that's what life is preparing you for. So why will you kill yourself? Why will you commit suicide? when what you're going through is preparing you for a future of leadership, a future of influence. For whether you know it or not, I emphasize that whether you know it or not, there are people who care about you. You see, the lie of the enemy to people that commit suicide most of the time is that nobody cares. Because for you to decide to take yourself out of this world, it means you feel isolated. And it's not true. You know, while I was preparing for this session, someone else came to me that, do I even know that people that hate you, they hate you because they believe you are important, you are relevant to them. People don't hate irrelevant people. So if anybody hates you, it also means that they count you as irrelevant, they count you as important. So hatred is an emotion for recognition. Oh, they don't love me, they hate me. Yeah, it's good. They hate you. At least they recognize you are there. There are people also that may love you, but they could not come close to you because of maybe the walls you have built around yourself. So people may not feel comfortable trying to get near to you. And you may just think that people have abandoned you, but afar, they care about your life. And that is a serious lie that the enemy continue to tell people to kill themselves because nobody cares. My brother, my sister, my young lady outside there, somebody cares. People that cares about you, whether you know it or not. Another reason why you should not kill yourself, you are still going to die. That's the truth. So why will you kill yourself today? Because you see that everybody is born to die. So there's no reason fast forwarding the death because we are here for a purpose. Every child that is born into this world has a contribution to make to the world in whatever field. We are all born to contribute. So you're still going through that. So why will you kill yourself? Why will you commit suicide? And lastly, I want to say there are people who have worse problems than you have. You may not know. The, your mind, you may be hearing voices telling you that you are the one that have the greatest problem in the world. It's not true. It's not true. Even the people you are seeing on TV, people you are seeing on social media, people you are seeing floating, showing up on the internet. You move close to them, you see the personal trauma they are going through. So it's until people open up to you that you know that even they are having problems. It's just like a story I read some time ago about a man that was having problem with his wife, and they were fighting, and he got so fed up, so he went to his pastor's house to go and report for counseling, and he got to the pastor's house. The pastor and his wife were fighting, and he just come back and said, "Let me go and solve my problem." Everybody has challenges. And there are people that their challenge, the problem they are facing is far worse than what you are going through. What do you do when you start having suicidal thoughts? You need to talk to somebody. Please open up. All right? Suicide thrives in secrecy, in privacy. Right? Talk to somebody. Whether you love the person, you don't love the person, you respect the person, you don't respect the person, hear somebody's opinion. You need to talk out, all right? You need to open up to somebody in school, in church, in mosque, in anywhere. You need to talk. In your family, you need to open up to somebody that this is what I am going through. This is what is coming to my mind. Open up. Depression dissolves, within open communication. Open communication can break depression. Talk to somebody. As much as possible, don't stay alone. You've never seen anybody committing suicide in the public. People commit suicide alone. They commit suicide alone. So don't stay alone. As much as possible, hang out with people. I want to say this, process every thought. Process every thought. As a young man, as a young woman, process every thought that comes through your mind. See, I don't want to be talking to spiritual, right? As much as possible, I want to be as open as much as possible. I want to be as academic as much as possible. But the truth is that we have forces outside there, right? That speak to our minds. So you hear voices that you may assume is your voice, that is your thoughts, but it's not true. It's not true. Thoughts of self-condemnation, thoughts of unworthiness. You just feel unworthy. You just feel uncareful. You just feel, nobody cares about me. It's not true. Not that you just don't care yourself. Process them. Is this thought? Is it making sense? Is it adding value to me? Is it a positive thought? Is it a negative thought? We need to be able to process our thoughts, especially when we are alone. Please, it's not everything that comes to your mind that is your thought. Please, there are forces outside here that attempts to take over our minds. And I want you to know that as a young man, as a young woman, you need to know that it's not every thought that comes to you that you hear in your mind that is your thoughts, especially negative ones. There are powers outside there that are trying to form our lives in the image they want and ultimately into destruction, if possible, if unchecked. Now listen to this. Research has shown that people that commit suicide, if they have waited just 5 minutes extra, the urge will have left. That's what the research showed. I read that report some years ago. 5 minutes will have made a difference. So I will beg you in the name of God, when that urge comes strongly to commit suicide, wait it out for 10 minutes. I will not say 5, 10. Within those 10 minutes, that urge will pass. Just hang on. Just let it be as if you are holding, there was a wind and you are holding to a rope. And if you let go of that rope, you will fall inside the sea. So you are hanging on, and you are hanging on. Just hang on for those 10 minutes and that urge for suicide will pass. They ultimately seek spiritual strength from God. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's a spiritual dimension to suicide also. The enemy of our soul too, struggling to destroy us. Seek spiritual strength from God to be able to resist the thoughts and urge to commit suicide. I want to leave you with this song that was sung out by go-Oche Jonkings. If you don't help me, where else can I go? If you don't help me, where else can I go? nowhere, nowhere. If you don't heal me, where else can I go? Nowhere, nowhere. So I want to know. I want to. I want to. I want to. If you don't help me, where else can I go? But I love you away. If you don't heal me, where else can I go? If you don't fix me, where else can I go? No, 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 no. You don't touch me, where else can I go? No, no, no. You don't bless me, where else can I go? Oh, I want to you when the week is slow. I want to you. I want to. I want to you. I want to you. I want to you. If you don't hear me, where is time? Oh, if you don't fix me, where is time go? One man, one woman, one to God. Can fix you, can heal you. You need counseling, you can send message to this number. We'll be able to link you up with professional counselor. I'll be able to counsel you. Just know that God loves you, God needs you, the family loves you, the family needs you, the country loves you, the country needs you. Suicide is not an option. You've got to live to be a man, a woman that will have value to this world. God bless you.